Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a video on the Losey channel, and today we are back with the Premier League predictions for Game Week 1. Oh my days, I love recording this series so much, but before we get into this video, and before hay fever kills me off, please remember to like, subscribe, comment, turn the notification bell on, and let's get into the video. So we're starting off with the Friday night football game. It's Manchester United versus Fulham. I think this is a tough game because I feel like this game can go either way. If I'm being honest with you, I mean, Fulham have looked good in pre-season. I mean, they've got Smith Rowe from Arsenal who they're just saying. They're in talks to sign Diego Carlos. I don't believe Diego Carlos will play against Manchester United if they sign him, but still it's a great signing. And of course, some of Man U's players have fell victim to injury. If you look at the likes of Lenny Yoro, and I think they've had a few other injuries as well in pre-season, which isn't the greatest, but ultimately the game's at Old Trafford. Do I think Man U will have a better year than last year? Yes, I don't think they can do much worse, if I'm being honest with you. And I think other teams that finished above Man U last year have made worse decisions this season. So, on the basis of Man U recruiting well, I'd say this summer, because now they've pretty much signed De Ligt and Mazuri. By the time this video's out, I think them deals will be confirmed. We're having the medicals are carrying in today. I think it'll be a tight game. Don't get us wrong. I think Fulham are a good team. I think Marco Silva's a great manager. However, I'm gonna say Manchester United 2, Fulham 1. And if you don't know the format of how this works, basically, if I get one result right, it's 3 points to me. If I get the team if I predict the right team to win or draw, I get a point. If I get the result wrong, so say Fulham beat Man United, the viewer, so you get 5 points. So I think that's fair. So that is the format if you haven't watched the channel last year, because I did do this last year on the channel. So as I said, make sure you like, subscribe and comment so you don't miss this video every single week, because it is a banging series and I was nearly pulling my hair out last year. But yeah, 2-1 to Manchester United. The next game is newly promoted Ipswich, who play Liverpool. I'm excited to see how Ipswich play. The vibes Ipswich give me are Luton vibes when they came up. I think Ipswich do play a bit better football, if I'm being honest with you, and I think they've got a slightly better manager. But I want them to stay up. I really do, but I can't physically see Ipswich staying up. My hay fever's killing us, by the way, but I can't see Ipswich staying up, and it's going to be, I think it's at Portman Road. It's going to be absolutely bouncing at 12:30 on TNT Sports when Ipswich play Liverpool. However, Liverpool look great in pre-season, and I always say, I said to one of my friends called Josh, I said to him, for Newcastle, Liverpool, anyone else, I don't take pre-season into consideration, really. I don't think it means much. I think for me, pre-season's fitness, and just getting the cobwebs off, really, in my opinion. However, Liverpool have looked good under Arne Slot, and I think Arne Slot's a great manager. So what I'm predicting is Liverpool 3, Ipswich 1 at Portman Road. I do think Ipswich will score, but I don't think they'll have enough to keep Liverpool off them, to be honest with you. So I'm going to go 3-1 to Liverpool. Moving on, we'll go to my title favourites. If you haven't watched my Premier League predictions video, if you press on the icon at the little top there, you can go and watch that video, my Premier League predictions. But Arsenal vs Wolves, I think Arsenal are the favourites of the league. They've made some great signings in Calafiori. They're in talks to be signing Mikel Merino as well. I think they'll get them. That's 2 top players. I think they might be lacking a right wing / striker that I do believe they should bring in. Do I think they will? I'm not quite sure. But I still think Arsenal have a top level squad. And I think Wolves are a great team as well. Don't get us wrong. Gary O'Neill has done an absolute terrific job at Wolves, and obviously they've just lost Pedro Neto to Chelsea for 63 million. I think it's a great bit of business. I think Pedro Neto's a good player, but I do not in the slightest think he's worth 63 million. Wolves are going to reinvest that money, I believe, or you'd imagine so. I think Wolves will have a good year. As I said again, press the icon at the top and you'll see where I predicted Wolves to finish. but they do not have enough to keep Arsenal off them at the Emirates. I'm going to say Arsenal 2, Wolverhampton Wanderers 0. Let me know what you think so far. Next, we're going on to Everton versus Brighton at Goodison Park. The last time in a Premier League season, Everton will play at Goodison Park as well, because they'll be moving into their new stadium next year. This is a good game, I think, because Brighton, new manager, the youngest manager to ever manage in the Premier League. And then you've got Everton, Sean Dyche, he's made some decent signings. O'Brien from Lyon, Jasper Lindstrom, and they've got Jack Harrison back from Leeds as well, which I think is a good signing. I think this is a good game. I'm excited to see how Brighton play. I haven't seen Brighton play in pre-season, but I know they've signed some good players like Matt Fifa from Feyenoord and things like that. But I don't know. This game, I was sitting there and I was like, I really do not know. Everton at Goodison Park versus Brighton. I think if it was at the Amex, I think it's easy for me to predict. But since it's at Goodison Park, I favour Everton to win or draw. So I'm going to say Everton 1, Brighton 1. I think there'll be a boring 1-1 draw. I'm excited to see how Brighton play. But obviously I'll be at the Newcastle game, so I'll be having to watch it a match of the day. But I'm excited to see how Brighton play, but also how Everton play now this season. They've obviously got no point deduction. I'm excited to see how they do, if I'm being honest with you. And of course, I signed that Lillman and DI as well, which I think is a decent signing. 20 million is a lot of money, but I think it's not a bad signing. But I'm excited to see how that happens and how it plays out. I don't know if Brighton will be good this year. In my Premier League predictions, I put them lower than what people think. I think people expect Brighton to be in the top 10. I really do not think so. I think teams around them have strengthened so much. I think Brighton just drop out, and they've lost Pascal Grobe as well to Dortmund, and they've sold Dennis Undav. I don't really particularly think Dennis Undav was a brilliant player anyways. I think he's good in Germany, but I think they got 30 million euros from him, so probably 23 English pounds. Not a bad sale, to be honest with you, and they probably signed him for dirt cheap as well. But moving on, Newcastle, my team, versus Southampton. I will be there. Let me know if you want a vlog off the game. I've always said I don't really like to go and vlog the game. I like to go and enjoy it. But if there's something you would like to see, if you're not a Newcastle fan, if you're just a different fan, you want to see what it's like on match days, let us know. I'll do a little vlog. But Newcastle versus Southampton. Southampton just come up. I think we'll win this. I think we'll win this quite comfortable. I think Southampton's style of football, they won the playoffs, okay. But Southampton's style of football in the Premier League, I don't think it's going to work against teams like Newcastle. I think against the Evertons, I think against the Evertons, your Leicesters, I think the style works. It's play out from the back, keep the ball, and it's a really possession-based game. I think Newcastle will just press the life out of them. I think it'll end. At first, I put like 3-4, 5-0 down, but I give them more respect. I'm going to say Newcastle 2, Southampton 0. I just think Newcastle will absolutely dominate the game. I think when Southampton try and play out from the back, I think we'll just press the life out of them. When you've got like Joe Linton, Gordon, Isaac, all running down your Murphy, you've got your Brunos. There'll probably be Willock or Longstaff in the midfield. I just don't think they'll be able to cope. I think we've just got that. I think like Southampton here. I think we're up here. I think the quality gap is quite big, and I expect Newcastle to win that game quite comfortable. I'm saying 2-0 Newcastle. Next we'll go to West Ham vs Villa. What a game this is! I don't know what time this game is, but I'm hoping it's like when I'm at the Newcastle game. Have a look now. It's 5:30. I've got time to watch it. Get it in. This game is going to be insane because you look at West Ham, they've signed Kilman, Tabido, Fulkrug, Somerville, Guido Rodriguez, Wan-Bissaka, and then you have Villa. Villa have made good signs as well. Amadou Onana, Illing Jr. from Juventus, and they've signed some other great players as well. Enzo Berescia. I'm excited to see how this game goes. They've got Philogene Byron's back as well from Hull. Obviously they've lost the likes of Moussa Diaby, Douglas Luiz. I think Douglas Luiz is a big loss. Don't really think Diaby's a massive loss, to be honest with you. But I'm excited for this game. I couldn't really pick a winner. It's at the London Stadium. I couldn't really pick my outright winner. it's like swings and roundabouts. It's, I think, high chance of it being like 50% chance of it being a draw and 25% either team nicking it. But I've went for Aston Villa to win 2-1 against West Ham. I just think West Ham have a bunch of new players in, and I think Aston Villa done their business quite early. And Unai Emery's a top level, like, world class manager in my opinion. And I just think Unai Emery will get the better of Lopetegui that day, just for the fact that the Villa players know the system. They've done the business early. Everyone's adapted, and West Ham players, you'd assume, would still be adapting. Could be wrong, could be awfully wrong. West Ham could absolutely wipe them away, or West Ham could just win, or it could be a draw. But I'm gonna back Villa. I'm gonna say Aston Villa 2, West Ham 1. Moving on to the next game now. It's Brentford versus Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace, amazing under Ollie Glasner last season when he came in. Absolutely no one could beat them. They were just taking teams apart. They have lost Elise. They've also could be losing Mark Gahey to Newcastle United, which I really hope they do, but haven't heard any news in the last day or so I'm a bit worried now. But I believe there is talks behind the scenes, so I'm hoping a deal can get struck for Gahey to Newcastle. I think Palace will still have a decent year. They're in talks to sign Zaha back on loan. Obviously they're in talks. They've already signed Ismaila Sarr. They signed Chadi Riyad from Barcelona at centre-back. It's a tough one. I think Brentford are a good team at home. I think Brentford fell off the lot last year, but obviously they had injuries to Ivan Toney as well. Well, not injuries. They had a big ban on Ivan Toney. And Brio was injured for a bit of the season as well. Surprisingly, I haven't went with a Palace win, which I think a lot of people will. I went for Brentford 2, Crystal Palace 0. I think another game that could easily be a draw, but I'm going to back Brentford to win at the J-Tech. So yeah, Brentford 2, Palace 0. Next we move on to the big game. Chelsea versus Manchester City. Don't like Chelsea's owners, don't like the way they do the business. I think it's just shit, really. I don't want Chelsea to get into Europe this year. Sorry if I offend any Chelsea fans. I just don't like the owners. I just would rather someone else come in and do the business properly. Because we've got like 45 squad players. It's a joke. And like, even I think a lot of Chelsea fans would agree sacking Poch was harsh. I know some Chelsea fans didn't really like Poch from the start, but I didn't think they had to get rid of Poch, to be honest with you. But they did. I'm going to go with a big win for City. I'm going 4-1 City at Stamford Bridge. I think Chelsea looked awful in pre-season. As I said, before, I said that pre-season doesn't mean anything, but they've looked actually awful, make mistakes all the time. I'm saying Man City 4, Chelsea 1. That one's probably going to bite us in the arse, but who cares? And the last one is Leicester City versus Spurs, the James Maddison reunion. Good game. At the King Power. I think Tottenham win. Yeah, I think Leicester might just go down because they're going to get a point deduction, I believe. And I just don't think with a point deduction, Leicester are going to have enough to keep them in the Premier League. I could be wrong. Who knows? Could be awfully wrong, but I'm going to say it's going to be an entertaining game. I'm going to say Leicester City 2, Tottenham Hotspur 3. 3-2 to Tottenham. That's what I'm going for. And that is all the games predicted for Game Week 1. So guys, thank you so much for watching the video. If you liked it, just please remember you like, subscribe, comment, turn the notification bell on so you do not miss an upload from me. And I will see you next week for Game Week 2. And we'll do a review of Game Week 1. And I will see you in the next one.